Hey, what's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and you're here for your free picks for the Champions League on Wednesday, October 4th. Another 8 games on the schedule, guys. We have some very interesting matchups, especially in that group with Borussia Dortmund, Milan, Newcastle, and PSG. And we have some other teams facing off all over Europe, guys. For more free picks, go to the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. We have a video with the MLS picks. I believe we have 12 games on the schedule on Wednesday as well. So get your free picks for that and let's win some money together, guys. For my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page on the Pickdawgz website, and there you can sign up. Whether you want a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass, that will get you covered all the way through the next month. And that way, you get all of my soccer picks, whether we have national teams, clubs, whatever competition, and so on and so on. Like I said, guys, 8 games on the schedule. So let's kick it off with Atletico Madrid versus Feyenoord. Both teams playing outstanding football, especially Feyenoord, who hasn't lost any of their last 5 games on the road. They haven't lost any of their last games, 8 games overall. They have won their last 6 games in a row. They have scored a ton of goals. They have kept a few clean sheets. They actually demolished Ajax 4-0 on the road. While Atletico Madrid on the other side is undefeated in their last 13 home games. They are on a nice 3 game winning streak. And even though I believe that Feyenoord has enough quality, good enough form to score a goal here, they also won their first game in the Champions League as well. I think this was going to go to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid at home is a very, very hard team to beat, and the price at the moment is minus 143. As you can see, when I was making the graphics, it was minus 167, and then it dropped to minus 143. But I think that's a great for us because we're going to get more money out of it. So I'm taking Atletico Madrid on the money line. Celtic will be hosting Lazio in the next matchup, and both teams actually coming off of a loss from round one in the Champions League. Actually, Celtic lost to Feyenoord. Lazio got a late 1-1 draw against Atletico Madrid. But Lazio is coming off of a loss. They ended up losing 2-0 to Milan, and there has been some talks about firing Maurizio Sarri as the head coach and hiring Igor Tudor, who is the previous Marseille coach from last season. We'll see what will happen with that. While Celtic on the other side is playing well, they are on a 2 game winning streak. They haven't lost any of their last 23 home games, and that's mostly because those home games were in the Scottish Premiership, and we know that they dominated that competition. In the previous 2 games between these two teams, we have seen both teams to score an over 2.5 hitting. Both games ended in a 2-1 win for Celtic. But I think that Lazio will try to step it up here. They will try to get a win or at least a positive result. And for that reason, I'm going to go with goals in this one. I'm going to take both teams to score an over 2.5. And that's minus 103 at the moment. Borussia Dortmund and Milan is the first big matchup of the day in the EPL, in the Champions League, sorry. And both teams are playing quite well right now. Dortmund is a huge, huge positive streak when playing at home. They haven't lost any of their last 23 home games. While Milan is now on a 3 game winning streak. They have beaten Verona, they have beaten Cagliari, and in their latest game, they have beaten Lazio. While they had a ton of chances in that game against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, but they couldn't score a goal and it ended in a nil-nil draw. I think this is going to be a very interesting match, a very competitive game where I think that Borussia Dortmund will try to dominate the game, dominate the possession as they usually try to do, and I think they will succeed in that. But Milan is a very dangerous team when it comes to counter-attacks, and we know that Borussia Dortmund's defense is not the greatest in the world. So instead of choosing the sides, I'm gonna go with both teams to score in this one. Minus 165. I'm not gonna try to push it to over 2.5 because I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 1-1 result here. So Dortmund versus Milan, both teams to score for me. Newcastle and PSG is the next big matchup in the Champions League, and as we can see, the books are slightly favoring Newcastle here at plus 155. But then again, we have PSG on the other side, the team that has been a little bit sloppy in League One this season. I get it defensively, especially. But this is a team that still has Mbappe up front. They have Colomani, they have Dembele as well. They can be very, very dangerous. And the fact that they haven't scored against Clermont on the road this past weekend might get them a little bit angry. And I think they might kind of get themselves off the leash in this game, and they will definitely go all out in that off offense. As far as Newcastle goes, they haven't lost any of their last 5 games. They are on a 3-game winning streak right now, and during this 3-game winning streak, they have actually kept 3 clean sheets. Now, for that to happen against PSG here, in my opinion, would be a big surprise. Once again, instead of choosing the sides, guys, I decided to go with goals, and that's both teams to score an over 2.5 at -150. For our next matchup, guys, we have this fairly even game between Crvena Zvezda and Young Boys. Serbian team Crvena Zvezda and Swiss team Young Boys. I think that these two teams will be fighting for that third place of this group because Manchester City and Leipzig will be the top 2 teams, in my opinion. And the third team will be fighting for that Europa League spot in the knockouts. But I mean, quality wise, these two teams are fairly even, in my opinion. But when it comes to competing in a stronger competition, I would say that Young Boys has a very, very slight advantage here because I think that the Swiss Super League is a bit stronger than the Serbian First League is. But I think that I will give the advantage to the home team here, and that's Crvena Zvezda. So I will take them on the money line at +110. I think it's going to be a very tight game. We can expect a bit of a battle, in my opinion, but I think that Crvena Zvezda will come out on top. So I'm going to take Crvena Zvezda on the money line at +110. Leipzig and City is another huge matchup in the Champions League, guys. And like I said, these two teams will be at the top of their group, in my opinion. But you know what? Manchester City is in a bit of a slump right now. It's not often that they lose 2 games in a row, and that's exactly what's happening to them right now. They lost to Newcastle, they lost to Wolverhampton. Uh, they are struggling a little bit in that attacking end, especially when Holland is not playing. But even when he is playing, it takes him a lot of chances to score a goal because he's not getting the service he would have been getting if De Bruyne was playing. But we know that he's injured and he will be out of this game. And Bernardo Silva probably as well. Kovacic should be playing, and some other players as well. So we'll see if they can step it up here and get a win against this very solid Leipzig team, the team that has won their last 9 home games in a row. They haven't lost any of their last 6 games. Uh, Even more, that is. They haven't lost any of their last 7 games, and they are coming off of a 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich. The problem for Leipzig is that they tend to play really well in the first half. They play great. They play defensively solid. They are creating chances, and then as the game progresses, especially in the second half, they tend to lose the focus, and that actually caused them the win against Bayern this past weekend. So uh, I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here. I know it might not make sense seeing how Manchester City is on a 2-game losing streak, but I'm going to take both teams to score and City to win at +215. It might be more logical to take the goals here, but I have a feeling that Manchester City will not lose 3 games in a row, and I think that their offense will start clicking in this game, and I think they will get a win. So I'm going to take both teams to score and Manchester City to win at +215. Royal Antwerp, the Belgian team, and Shakhtar Donetsk, Ukrainian team, are facing off in this next matchup. And I believe these two teams will be fighting for that third place of this group because we have Porto and Barcelona, who will, in my opinion, be the top 2 teams. And I think this is gonna give us a very much open game with not a lot of defense, despite Royal Antwerp playing their last 3 games nil-nil. So that's 3 draws in a row for Royal Antwerp that ended up in a nil-nil draw. So I think that they will definitely try to push it here, get on the scoreboard. They're playing at home; they simply have to do that. But Shakhtar on the other side has been actually scoring quite a bit of goals. They have scored at least a goal in each of their last 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games or so. So I do expect them to score here as well. So my pick is going to be over 2.5 for this one, and that is -150. And the last pick of the Champions League on Wednesday, guys, is between Porto and Barcelona. Now, I see that books are favoring Barcelona quite hard. In my opinion, they deserve to be the favorites. Maybe not as big because Porto, we know that they are one of the best teams in Portugal. We know that they tend to step it up when playing in Europe, and they are coming off of a win against Shakhtar in round one. And even though they lost to Benfica 1-0 this past weekend, shouldn't be judged by that game. They got an early red card. They still had chances, but they ended up conceding that goal in the second half, and it cost them here. Well, Barcelona on the other side hasn't lost any of their last 12 games. They haven't lost any of their last 5 games on the row. Their offense is producing a little bit more, and they if they have a great day, they will score 5, 6 goals, no problems. Against Sevilla, they barely scored one. Actually, it was an own goal by Sevilla to give Barcelona the win. But in the Champions League, they have scored 5 goals against Antwerp, and I'm pretty sure they will get to the scoreboard here as well. So once again, instead of choosing the sides because I don't have the faith in Barcelona's defense here, I'm gonna go with both teams to score in over 2.5. It's minus 105. Am I leaning towards Barcelona? I do. I think that they have more quality and I think that they have more offense to show for. But then again, I think that Porto at home is a very, very dangerous team and I think they will get to the scoreboard as well. So both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 105. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for the Champions League on Wednesday. Like I said, for more free picks, go to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. We have 12 MLS picks on Wednesday as well. So get those guys. Subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys soon with more free picks.